Now, inflation in South Africa does continue to rise, albeit rather slowly. Now, the July Consumer Price Index was up to 5.1% from 4.6 in June. The figure came in slightly higher than economists had expected. It's the highest in 10 months. CGTN's Sumitra Nydoo takes a look at where the price pressure is coming from.
It was petrol prices that caused the big push. The fuel component in the inflation basket is up 25% since last year.
The two primary drivers, one was obviously a weaker currency and a higher oil price that pushed transport and petrol costs up quite significantly. And we also saw that housing, particularly electricity and water pricing, increased significantly.
Motorists have had to deal with several petrol price hikes in the last year. The sharp fall in the rand that we've seen in recent weeks means that another petrol price hike is likely next month.
It is difficult, as I can say. Cost of living has become so high, whereby groceries have become more expensive, and rental, they even increased now from the past month compared to now. The rental also have gone so high. So it is difficult for parents like us who are self-employed and working on the street like this. A lot of things it's very expensive.
I'm thinking about saving up and investments and those kinds of things, and trying to come up with alternative ways of making income compared to what I'm just making now. So there's a lot of that. Also, there's the added stress of being a young millennial, a young black child in South Africa, which also has its own pressures.
Before we would either go to Cape Town, Durban for weekends and all that, but now we have to cut that down. So now you find that you have to spend everything that you have. If you think of having a nice time or anything, then you have a bride home.
With the fuel prices going up, I've had to decide where I go, where I don't go, plan my trips more carefully. The use of public transport here and there, because it's ridiculous, and the food spending as well, it's affecting food prices. Yeah.
Higher fuel prices usually lead to food inflation, but food prices rose just 3% in July. It's some relief for consumers that are already struggling with transport and municipal costs, electricity prices in particular.
Households are having to apportion more of their salary to things like electricity costs, water costs, and obviously transport. And that leaves less disposable income for other things like more discretionary items, furniture, etc.
Consumers may have to brace themselves for more bad news if the Reserve Bank reacts with an interest rate hike next month. Sumitra, Nydoo, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.